It's interesting how we subconsciously operate in this inferiority complex that has been pushed upon us as original people, melanated people, original people. And then we hear these things and it's just weird, man. These statements like just going back and forth about anti-Semitism and stuff like that. But like I said, I'm not doing this whole intellectual. I'm not doing that back and forth thing. I know who I am. I'm a black woman. I am, I am God. I am a God. I am a God. You understand that? Like I'm made in the image of God. I am the original woman, you know? The original woman, which means I am mother, as in like the energy of the planet that we live on, like we say Mother Earth and stuff like that, as in the spirit, you know? Yeah, we tap into that and having that understanding. Um, but yeah, we are the original people and we are made in the image of God, and we talk about Eden and we talk about all this stuff, and all of it points back to where, original our place of origin, the original place of origin where the melanated people are from. And we've been buying into a lot of this fear mongering because we've been programmed to believe, act, talk, think, and operate in an inferior way when indeed that is just that's classic narcissism, narcissistic empath relationship. You know what I mean? Because I did this project a couple of years ago called my it's like my cunning Valentine, my funny Valentine, whatever. It just had to do with this relationship that um America, and in essence that the world has with black people. And it's we live in a, I like to say quote unquote anti-black society because it's like it's psychotic in the way where it's like we say it's an anti-black society, but literally our culture runs the world. Literally, we're mimicked for everything. Like everything that we do is mimicked, copied, and pasted. You know what I mean? And they use us because they use us, but they use manipulation tactics on us. It's a classical narcissistic empathic relationship because, and it's an abusive relationship because when you've been in those types of relationships, you know the signs and you know the tactics. And your abuser is always going to put you down and make you think less of yourself than who you really are. Your abuser's motives is to absolutely operate in the energy of identity theft, to steal your identity away from you because they feel inferior to your identity, but they want to suck the life force from you. And we've been hypnotized and under that spell of this classical narcissistic empathic relationship because as melanated people, we are extremely in tune with the earth. We're extremely in tune with the energy. We are highly sensitive people. We are empathic. We understand exactly what's going on because we're in tune. We're the original people, you know? We are who we are, and we cannot continue to deny our identity to make other people comfortable. But does that, we don't, it's not operating in a superiority complex. It's operating in the complex where you just know who you are and you begin to walk as such. So we tap into the word of God. We tap into this sacred text, that has been left for us, these basic instructions before leaving earth to have, who are we? We're made in the image of God, right? God made us another speaking spirit. like him, made in that image of God. So we have to tap into that and walk in that authority, as opposed to walking in the authority that everybody else is telling us that we should act, make ourselves small, make ourselves feel lesser than. Why? For who? To rub who to rubs whose ego? Whose ego? Like, you know what I mean? Like, for what reason? Why do I have to make myself small? Why do I have to make other people comfortable? Especially when when we feel the most uncomfortable, you know? And it's just weird to me that we fight so much against this identity, and we still want to, I don't know, like, assume the position of being inferior. And it's like, I'm not going to assume the position of being inferior. I'm not going to assume the position of thinking that I'm less than, because I like my nose that you knocked off the pharaohs. I love it. I love the way my nose looks, because I'm a black woman. I'm made in the image of God. We talk about, the ancestry of Jesus and stuff like that. And we talk about the ancestry of the original people. If the original man was black, we know that. Like, we're not playing these games anymore. I'm not, and that's the thing that I'm talking about. I'm not doing these intellectual debates with people. For what reason? I know who I am. And if we say that we know who we are, we talk all this knowledge of self, then it's about time we start acting like it. We start thinking like it. We start breathing like it. We start doing all the things that are in alignment with this identity. We start eating like God. We start eating clean. We start taking care of ourselves, taking care of our mind. We stop listening to these idiot boxes, tuning into all this crap, all this garbage that is used to program us, to keep us in bondage to this system of fear that continues to pump fear into our bodies, to continue to pump fear into our minds. All of these systems are the opposite of what they say they are. They're total institutions. They institutionalize us. When it comes to the healthcare system, they do not care about our health. They don't care about our health. They care about our health. Then why aren't people just walking around healthy and healed? All these damn hospitals everywhere. All these clinics and urgent cares. Healthcare system. Huh? They giving you pills that kind of mimic what God has already given us, but to keep you hanging on so that you could get other diseases, and then it's just a cycle. Talk about creating drug addicts and a drug problem in America, or drug problem in the world. Big Pharma is the biggest hustlers in the world. They profit off of sickness and dis-ease. That's not a healthcare system. They do not care about our health. When we have holistic doctors that have been healing diseases that they say are incurable, there's nothing that's incurable. If God gave us everything that we needed on this earth, you have to understand that if you believe this stuff, and now you say that you're a believer, you say that you believe in God, that you're a Christian, Christ-like follower of Christ, whatever you say you are, what does the original story tell us? God that placed us in a garden, right? God placed us in a garden. Ooh, thank you, Holy Spirit. God placed us in a garden, okay? And said, hey, this is yours. He didn't place us in a McDonald's. He didn't place us in all this. He put us in a garden, which means that fresh food and fresh fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, that's what we're supposed to be tapping into and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So he placed us in the garden, pretty much saying that we had everything we needed in that and all that. So, we're good. Then some things happen, whatever the case may be, whatever. But let's stay on point right now. When we talk about these systems in the world, we talk about healthcare system. That is not a healthcare system. They do not care about our health. Okay, people have been healing all these diseases that they say have been incurable for years. And we talk about all this, this whole COVID stuff that's been going on and all this other stuff. And, this is a plan. It's a pandemic. It's been a plan. You have Bill Gates talking about, oh, preparing for a pandemic a couple of years before this whole thing went down. Then you have the strategic murder of Dr. Sebi, along with uh, hundreds of other, holistic doctors right before this happened. So I don't really care about all these, this is not conspiracy. This is what really went down. We need to stop acting like things aren't what they are when we know what goes on. We know what goes on. We know what has happened to our ancestors. We know these things. So enough is enough, with the whole mental trying to, stop being tapped into what the oppressors want you to believe, what the system wants you to believe, you know? And let's talk about the other systems. They talk about education system. These are total institutions that we bring our children to every single day. Total institutions to institutionalize our minds. You talk about you talk about the education system. It's propaganda that they're pushing. Where are we learning in these educational institutions that we bring our children to every day? Now they're pushing certain propaganda and stuff. I heard that in schools now they're pushing stuff about like LGBTQ and all this other stuff. And what the hell does that have to do with, how is that preparing my child for life? Huh? Education is supposed to be used for as a preparation, as a place of preparation for life. That's what you're being educated on, what? Because you're gonna grow up, right, and become an adult, and then you have to live in this world. So what exactly are they preparing us to do in these schools, in these classrooms, with these curriculums? What's being learned? They're institutionalizing our children for the program that they have set forth to keep us oppressed. We all know about the school to prison pipeline, and it always baffles me. I'm gonna always constantly bring up, we put our children in these total institutions called schools and stuff like that, and it's like, how come 85% of niggas can't read then still? Let me know. 85% of people can't. We can't do arithmetic. We can't do math. We can't do math. We cannot read. That was that dream about. Okay. Nah, man. Yeah, because I just had a dream earlier about, just like I and that thing went off. It's just I just had that dream like earlier, right before I woke up, about, I was in front, like it was this in this classroom. It was weird, it was like this classroom, whatever. I just couldn't do a simple math problem. And then when I woke up, I'm like, what the F? Like I could, come on, that seriously, what the hell? But it's like, when are we going to say, I am tired of being programmed by the system? When are we going to say, I am ready to heal myself? I'm ready to break these curses off of um the bloodline. I'm not going to settle for what these oppressors are saying to me. I'm not going to settle for, oh, every disease, the diabetes, oh, this, that, that. I'm going to take control of my life. I'm going to take control of my bloodline. I'm going to take control of my lineage. I'm going to take control of my culture, and I'm going to heal myself. If you believe in God, you believe and you say, I'm a follower of Christ, and all of us be wearing all this stuff. And it's like, we have been redeemed from the curse. So it's like, if we have redemption, and it's like all it takes is us for it to gain that knowledge and apply it. The Bible talks about, my people perish for lack of knowledge. And it's like, where are you getting your information from? You're getting your information from the same people that want to keep you oppressed. You're getting your information from these news outlets that are, they all have an agenda to keep you in a state of perpetual fear. Fear, the acronym for that, we all know false evidence appearing real. Because if they could get into your, the Bible talks about guarding your mind, your heart, your gates, your eye gates, your ear gates, your heart gates. If they could get into your eye gates with the television telling their vision, what you think? They could get into your ear gates with whatever you're listening to, constantly meditating on. These things are getting into your soul, your mind. They're controlling your emotions and therefore controlling your outward behavior. So we talk all this stuff. We get outraged when we see police brutality. We get outraged and all this other stuff. Okay. You know what we should really be outraged about? That we allow identity theft to happen to us on a day-to-day basis. And we just sit and stew. We're like freaking those they say like toads. You could just, we're just like toads in that hot water. And they just like boil. All right, make it a little hotter. All right, make it a little hotter. And then next thing you know, we'll be gone. But they can't erase us. But it's time for us to wake up, yes? And that's why I love the name of my, this project, Do My Big Black Feature Scare You. I have many projects that I'm working on, but this one, I love it as much as I love my other projects as well. But it's like, Do My Big Black Feature Scare You, right? Malcolm came with the Who Told You to Hate Yourself, right? And it's like, they'll constantly get in your mind, oh, your nose is supposed to look. No, my nose, I like my nose. I like the way it looks. I'm a black woman. I'm a black woman. I like my lips. I like my cheekbones. I like everything about myself. I'm never going to hate myself the way that they want you to hate. They want you to hate yourself. They want you to hate everything about you. And it's like, because they want that, they want to continue this abusive relationship, right? You're in an abusive relationship, that man talking down to you, that man tearing your identity apart, that man trying to break your whole confidence down, right? Breaking you down, saying all types of nasty, wicked stuff to you to your tear you down, so you can't even tap into your spirit. You can't even tap into who you know you are. Putting his foot on your neck, breaking you down, destroying you, ripping your confidence to shreds. And planting his seeds of wickedness and discord in you several ways. Because you're having sex with the man, right? You're engaging in intercourse with this villain of a man who's abusing you. Is that not the same relationship that we have with this system that has been created to destroy us? We engage in intimacy and intercourse with it every day.